in his Alfiya also he holds the same view that Imam al-Nawawi as well, he says that the most authentic book of hadith is the book of Bukhari. Yalihi Kitab Muslim, followed by Imam Muslim. Al-Imam al-Bukhari, he's got approximately 4,000 ahadith, approximately within his Bukhari. It is if you take out the mukarrar, the repeated ahadith, approximately 4,000. He says, the one to have al-kitab, I compiled the Sahih from 600,000 ahadith. 600,000. Al-Imam Muslim from 300,000. 300,000 and these 3,000 ahadith in Sahih Muslim. But I chose these ahadith from amongst 300,000. And they memorize it all. Not only the hadith, matnan wa sanadan. Memorize the entire matter of the hadith with the chain of transmission up to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Malaka. The ability to memorize it is beyond. And then today you find people who are Quran and they say, the hadith are man-made concoctions, and how can you be guaranteed that the hadith that these people are transmitting, that they received exactly as it is from the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That very same people that memorize the hadith are the people that actually preserve the Quran throughout the years. How did they memorize the Quran? And the Quran today is exactly the way it was at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the same is said about the hadith. Chains of transmission which are preserved. Al-Imam al-Bukhari, the famous narration of Imam Bukhari, you all know this incident where he entered into Baghdad. And at that time Imam Bukhari is قد ذاع صوته في البلاد. His reputation is widespread in all the lands. Imam Bukhari is رجل ذو حفظ ونباهة. He's a very, very witty person. He's got a strong memory. And when he entered Baghdad, so the ulama of Baghdad, they got some of the students and they said that let's test him. Let's test him. And so they took 10 students, each person a student, and they said they gave each one 10 ahadith, maqlubat al-asanid. They gave him 10 ahadith, but they changed the isnad. So they took the chain of narration of this hadith and put it with that hadith, and took the chain of narration of that hadith. And each one they gave like a 10 ahadith. They told him memorize it wrong. So he had to memorize 10 ahadith incorrectly. Or he had to present to him 10 ahadith where he memorized it, Allah. And those 10 against how many ahadith were they in total? 100 ahadith. And so I told him, when the masjid becomes full, and then you stand up and then you ask him about this ahadith. And they were sitting in different places in the masjid. So when the masjid became full, Imam Bukhari فجلس للتحديث, and he sat to narrate the hadith. So one person said, "Ya Malik, I'd like to know about this hadith." And Imam Bukhari, I'd like to know about this hadith. Ya Bukhari, I'd like to know about this hadith. So he said, so he narrates the hadith. The incorrect incorrect chain of transmission. He takes a different chain and he puts it of transmission, which is a chain of transmission is where one person that is from another person. Alright? Up until Rasulullah, and then you get the hadith at the end. Right? So you have, for example, like I just memorize now the Asahul Asanid according to the Muhaddithin. They say is Malik an Nafi an Ibn Umar, for example. So they take that hadith that's narrated by Malik an Nafi ibn Umar, and then they put it on another hadith. So they mix the chains up with the hadith. So Imam Bukhari says, لا أعرفه. I don't know this hadith. So he said, okay, and this one? Second one? He says, لا أعرفه. And the third one? لا, I don't know it. Up until he finished 10. And Imam Bukhari said, لا أعرفه. Second student stands up and he says, Malik, what do you say about these ahadith? And he reads it. 11, لا أعرفه. 12, لا أعرفه. For every single hadith this is لا أعرفه. The ulama sitting there, they realize فطن لها البخاري. And Al-Bukhari is aware of the trick that we were trying to play on him. We know that we're testing him. How's the layman obviously sitting there? It's the Bukhari. The Kenyans how the layman sitting there? Can't answer. Like when they ask someone the scholar question and the scholar can't answer. So Imam Bukhari, when all 10 students were done, so Al-Bukhari says, Amma anta, as for you, hadith was, you said so and so and so and so, and the correct narration of the hadith is so and so and so and so. As for your second hadith, you said so and so and so and so, and the correct transmission and narration of the hadith is so and so and so and so. And he started rectifying all of the asanid, the entire 100 hadith. The scholars say the amazing thing is not that he was able to rectify, but how he memorized from the first time the incorrect narration. From the first time, he was able to identify the incorrect and he memorized it from the first time around. Wa'juba. Allahu Akbar. Al-Imam Shafi'i says, علمي معي حيثما يممت ينفعني قلبي وعاء له لا بطن صندوقي إن كنت في البيت كان العلم فيه معي أو كنت في السوق كان العلم في السوق. Al-Imam Shafi'i says, علمي معي, my knowledge is with me. قلبي وعاء له, wherever I go, my knowledge goes with me. قلبي وعاء له, my heart is my box for my knowledge. It is my is the thing that I carry the knowledge. Not inside the box. My heart is the one that carries the knowledge. So if I'm at my home, then the ilm is at home. And if I'm at the marketplace, then the knowledge is at the marketplace. And Imam Ghazali, the famous narration, where he also came after years of studies and he came back to Tus, and so he was stopped by highway robbers. What happened? So they stole all his possessions. So he said, take everything you want. وَتُرْكُوا لِي عِلَاقَتِي. Just leave my box that I have my books in, that I have my knowledge in. They say, knowledge. I say, yes, this is so many years, 10 years of knowledge that I have acquired. Everything is written in this box. So they told him, what is the benefit of 10 years of knowledge if someone steals it away from you and then you left with nothing? So they said, but seeing that you are so nice, we're going to give it back to you. وَلَمَّا رَجَعَ إِلَى بَلَدِهِ انْكَبَّ عَلَى الْعِلْمِ. When he back to you, he says, nah, I will never ever allow this to happen again to me. When he memorized everything, he documented. So whether they steal it, whether they take it makes no difference because knowledge is with me. Allahu Akbar. But we're living in a time that knowledge has become, studying the knowledge has become difficult. And retaining the knowledge has even become more difficult. Retaining the knowledge that you've studied has become more difficult. Because of the distractions. And there are multiple reasons. First thing, we don't write anymore. We want to record, we want to listen, don't write. In Shaykh, you were in Britannia recently. No. They still document on the tablets. So writing from young, memorize it. Writing. Some of the scholars told me that at Wayne Britain they say that the child will, or the student will the Shaykh will teach without a book. He teaches without a book. And then whatever he speaks, they will write. And when their tablet is full, they will erase it. And once it's gone, it's gone. I must write again. So whatever they're writing, they have to memorize as they're writing it. So we don't write anymore these days. It's voice recorders, it's take a photo like we have, mashallah, our students also here at the institute. Shaykh, take a photo of the board. Take a photo of the board. They don't want to write it on in their books. So they'll take a photo of the board and they share the photo of the board with all the students. So no one has to write anymore. No benefit. And one of the other reasons that our memory has become weak is the amount of sin that we commit. It has a direct impact on our memory. Direct impact. And especially looking at haram. Especially looking at haram. Looking at gazing at haram, whether it's on your phone, or your PC, or your screen, or in the road, go to the beaches. Looking at haram has a direct effect on your memory. And the testimony to that is the narration of Imam Shaykh. Where he went to Waqi and he complained about his weak memory. Another reason why we find we don't have the ability to memorize as we're supposed to is because we engage all the time on social media. Very distracting. For a student of deen, you shouldn't be on social media actually. It's very, very hard. Busy looking at people's statuses and people's posts on Facebook. How many 100 posts do you go through just through that scrolling? And every time someone says something else, and even has something different to post, by the time that night comes, you can't remember what you read in the morning. You can't. Now you have so much information here, unnecessary information that you're clogging your brain with, that the knowledge can't sit in your brain. Social media is a waste of time. For a student of deen specifically, if a person is using it as a platform for da'wah, it's khayr. But for a student of deen also, some students of deen, they say, and this is my personal view, and I say it with great respect to the ulama and the mashayikh who are present and anyone else. For a student of deen as well, he says, I use social media for da'wah. Your time for da'wah is going to come. Your time for da'wah is going to come. Focus on your studies. There's nothing more important for you in studying the deen than studying the deen. But because our students want to do so much things, they want to do so much other things. I remember one of the teachers, I don't recall if I have the name of the scholar, but he was saying Al-Imam Ibn Daqiq al-Eid, who was a great Shafi'i scholar. He became Ibn Daqiq al-Eid because of one book that he read. And it was the Nihayat al-Matlab of Imam al-Juwayni. He says, Al-Imam al-Juwayni's Nihayat al-Matlab depends which print, but at least 18, 20 volumes. He says he took one entire year to read Nihayat al-Matlab. And he did nothing else other than Fard Salat. He would just read his Fard Salat, and he would read. For an entire year, he read the entire magnum opus of Imam al-Juwayni from cover to cover. In 1 year, لا يصلي إلا الفريضة. He only makes his Fard Salat. And after he became Imam Daqiq al-Eid. And there was no social media, there was no Facebook and Instagram and even زادت طين بلة بTikTok. And it even became worse with TikTok, and Allah knows what comes after that. And the shaitan will never leave you. As a student of deen, focus on your ilm, stay away from haram, stay away from unnecessary posts on social media and watching people's statuses and what they. Otherwise, يكون نفعك قليل. You'll be very little benefit in what you're studying. Person is reading, studying his work, but he's every time checking his phone. What is anyone replying to my WhatsApp messages? Is there anyone put up a new status? Is there anyone? Allahu Akbar. نعم. قال رضي الله عنه also الإمام أحمد بن حسن العطاسي إذا مررت على شيء في القراءة ولم تفهمه أو لم يحضر فيه بالك فأعده مرة أخرى في وقت آخر. So he says, Imam Ahmad bin Hasan al-Abbasi says, if you read something and you don't understand it, and you read it again and you don't understand it, you can't comprehend what you're reading, then read it at another time. Leave it off. Come back and read it at another time. لأن الأوقات تختلف. Because times differ and your understanding differs also at certain times. وإذا أشكلت عليك مسألة وقت القراءة فراجعها مرة واحدة في مظنتها. وإذا أشكلت عليك مسألة وقت القراءة فراجعها مرة واحدة في مظنتها. لأن كثرة المراجعة في الكتب وقت القراءة تمسخ بركة الوقت وتشتت الباطن وتضيع ما في ذهنك. I don't understand this, so what I do understand from, I'll ask maybe the Shaykh to assist me. He says that if you read a mas'ala and the time when you're reading it you don't understand it, فراجعها مرة واحدة في مظنتها, then you should read it from memory. You should try to recall it from memory. لأن كثرة المراجعة في الكتب وقت القراءة تمسخ بركة الوقت. Because making muraja'a of the kutub at the time when you're actually reading, when you are supposed to be reading, takes away the barakah of your time. وإذا أشكلت عليك مسألة وقت القراءة فراجعها مرة واحدة في مظنتها. هل يحضر عندكم شيء؟
When you study, you need to be responsible. So if you're going to read the same thing 100 times over, you're going to waste your time. So read it once, put it on the back burner, let it incubate, and then you check it up again.
But مظنتها, it is as if you should do it not while reading it again in the book. It's almost like you should try and understand everything.
I read the Masala now, just yesterday. So Imam Suyuti rahimahullah is talking about takhfifat, concessions within the Sharia. So I read that, so it says that وَمِنَ التَّخْفِيف, and all the concessions, he says, is جواز العقود وعدم لزومها. So when I look at the word jawaz, I said to myself, oh, jawaz, I don't know, permissible. Then luzum, I couldn't understand whether the Dhamir goes back to. I read it once, I read it twice, I read it thrice. I said, okay, this thing is not opening up to me because I can't figure out the syntax. So I left it and I carried on. But the incorrect meaning was sticking in my mind. Then later on in the night, I had to type it out now. So now I'm saying I'm going to once again attempt and I type out Qadr Suyuti. And I look at it now again. When I looked at it again, the meaning came to me. So the meaning is jawaz means that it is not binding, and luzum means it's binding. But I didn't see that meaning in the first time. So it was just a matter of many times, and some of us have OCDs when it comes to this. You read that part of the text, you're not going to go on. Come hello, hi. And now you're looking at it, you're boarding a hole into the page. And nothing is happening to you, you're wasting your time, move on with it. That is what I can relate to it. But the ibara is the ibara is challenging. في مظنتها, if I tie it into the previous part of the quotation, ممكن مظنتها عندما يقدر الله لك الفتوح في ذلك. It is the first thing that Shaykh said, when you're reading a mas'ala, then your istindad, normally it's from the dictionary and from the shuruh and so on, which is good. But initially your istindad must be from Allah. And then also tankul ikhtiyar ma Allah. Allah doesn't want you to understand the masala now, leave it. Have some patience and go.
مظنة
So what happens if, because you're reading Masail, so what happens is, like Muhammad also said, what happens is tashattu.
Can you hear what Shaykh Yusuf and Shaykh Muhammad are saying? Shaykh, you have to say it again, they can't hear what
People also on
we have ladies or something?
Just what Shaykh Muhammad basically said is that say basically the same thing, and that is basically when you read many masail, your mind is hopping around and your mind is actually stuck to these masail. So sometimes this masala is actually slightly different, but now you're understanding sometimes the same masala on a different masail, and that sometimes throws you off. So when you read it on its own, you park it basically, and when the dhihn is not safi, and the mind is not clear of the other masail, and then it comes in this proper madinna, and it will fall almost like the puzzle will fall in place. So that's basically same thing that Shaykh Muhammad basically said.
Wow.
the more I'm reading what I benefit from this verse is the ibara is only a wasila.
In fact,
When you're reading in the text that you are reading, we become preoccupied with the text and understanding of the text. The text is a means of giving us an understanding, and understanding comes from Allah. Quran, which is the greatest for us, quote unquote, academic work. Some of Allah wants to explain the meaning within this worldly realm. But in terms of the wording, the human words, that is a means of conveying the meaning. That human words, it falls short of the actual meaning which Allah wants to convey. But He tells you the closest I can get to that meaning is these words. So we very literalist, we're preoccupied with the words. But beyond the words is meaning. And Allah wants us to get to the meaning. And that's what Shaykh is, I'm just regurgitating what Shaykh already told us. That the words, it's like, it's the understanding and the meaning, and that comes from Allah. And I think it's revolutionary for us as students sitting here to take that approach when we are reading text. I mean, even Quran, that translation, this, that, and the other. No, these are all means by which Allah opens up the meaning to us. So you get stuck, and it's about, it can very much be your ego when you get stuck and you don't understand. Now it's I. Leave it. Allah will open up the understanding for you.
Jazakumullah khair from the Mashaykh, the contributions. So I don't have to go back to this again, but I'm going to continue reading because I don't want to be stuck on one point like that. But the Mashaykh didn't. This is the first time. Well, in my understanding, I haven't read the entire text now yet. So I'm going to continue reading, and then you will see that whatever I am going to read now will be exactly what they say. So he says, وَإِذَا طَالَعْتَ دَرْسَكَ فَأَعْمِلِ الْفِكْرَةَ فِيهِ حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنْ لَكَ مَعْنَاهُ. He says that if you're reading your dars, then let your brain work, so you are able to understand, so that the meaning within the text may become clear to you. The meaning behind the words may become clear to you. Is that what Mashaykh was saying?
No.
so that the meaning of the words, the meaning behind the words, may become clear to you. And if when the scholars speak about, I'm just thinking now, Kalamullah, it's a very difficult concept to understand. Sometimes we say Allah's Kalam in the Quran, and is the Quran Kalamullah. We say that the Quran is has no words. The Kalam of Allah is not words, it's not Arabic, it's not this, it's not so and so and so. But how do I say Quran's Kalamullah, but it's Arabic and it contains words? And sometimes for students it's a difficult thing to try and understand, fully understand. But like our Shaykh was saying now, that the Kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could never be understood. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clothed His Kalam in the garment of words and letters and sounds, so it could be understood by us. Other than that, if you were to take Allah's Kalam the way it is, no human being would have been able to understand Allah's Kalam because of the limitations of our knowledge. So He says, فَأَعْمِلْ فِكْرًا فِيهِ حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكَ مَعْنَاهُ, until the meanings behind the words becomes apparent to you. وَلَا تَكُنْ مُتَقَيِّدًا بِمَا تَرَاهُ فِي السُّطُورِ. Don't limit yourself to what you see in front of you, in the that is written. Don't limit yourself to what is written. As He was saying, understand that behind what is written is light, and the source of that light is Allah. So in order for you to unlock the meanings of the passages and the paragraphs and the words and the letters and the sentences, you must understand that you require Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's aid and assistance to understand the meaning and the essence behind what is documented. وَفَهْمُ الْقَارِئِ يَسْرِي السَّامِعِينَ, and the understanding of the person who's reading, it filters down to those who are listening. وَبَلَادَتُهُ تَسْرِي إِلَى السَّامِعِينَ, and his inability to understand also filters down to those who are listening. وَنُورُهُ يَسْرِي إِلَيْهِمْ, and his light also flows down to those who are listening. رزقنا الله حقائق ذلك وبلغنا ما هنالك وشرك سلك منا أسرارك شرك المسالك يا أرحم الراحمين. أعوذ المشايخ to make some dua for us.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم إنا نسألك إيمانا لا يرتد، ونعيما لا ينفد، وقرة عين لا تنقطع، ومرافقة نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم في أعلى جنان الخلد. اللهم أجرنا من النار، اللهم أجرنا من النار، اللهم أجرنا من النار، وأدخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب العالمين. الفاتحة.
على حضرة النبي. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين.
Does any of the students have any questions? No questions? Let's take advantage now we have the ulama.